afternoon, Brian Avery here. Thank you for coming back to our YouTube channel just to follow our bees here in our home apiary in lovely and again a sunny Hertfordshire. This morning it was raining overnight, and 2 days ago overnight there was a bit of rain again, and it's the first rain we've had for about almost 2 months. So I can literally feel and hear the plants just enjoying the chance around the place to just suck up a bit more moisture. That will feed through to some flow, hopefully with some new nectar and more nectar flowing from those plants that are currently flowering. Today is 7th of May 2022, and this is the fourth inspection, or should we say the fourth video in the swarm series. So I'm calling it the swarm series because the first video was the swarm, which was 22 days ago, so that was 3 weeks ago yesterday, which was Good Friday. We are now going to go in and inspect. The second video that we did was the transferring and moving of putting the swarm that we had put in, just checking that a week on. The following week after that, we've actually split the bees, which was the 2 weeks after the swarm, because they had actually had so many emergency queen cells. So I took the decision to split the colony where the bees had actually swarmed from, which was this side here, facing west, and I actually put it into the other, so half of frames or some of the frames into the colony or the hive, which is going to be used for comb honey. That one I put in there, and I took a couple of frames as well from the queen with a few eggs and things in there to sort of help boost that new one. So both those colonies had queen cells in them, emergency queen cells, because if you recall 2 weeks ago there were over a dozen queen cells that I actually saw that were sealed, hence why I split them into 2 different colonies. Now if I really wanted to grow this, potentially I could have split them even further and things into making small nukes and growing them on, but that's not what I want to do. I'm quite happy with just having 3 hives here today. So last week, or 2 weeks ago, we put the queens, or split the cells with the queen cells in them. So the queen life cycle, if you recall, is from when eggs are laid to when she emerges, is around 16 days. As I mentioned, it's 22 days. It has been good weather in the last week, so there's a very good chance that the queens would have emerged. They would have decided who's going to probably be the matriarch in both of those hives, and they've been out and they've actually been, hopefully are now mated or in the process of doing those mating flights. The weather's been relatively good over the last sort of week, and so we just have to also see just how the flow is actually happening. With the rain, I should be expecting that to pick up. So the other 2 key things we wanted to do today is with the one where the queen swarmed, and I got her, if you recall, from the neighbour's garden where she decided to settle. I just want to go through, make sure she's still laying, make sure there's no other queen cups, just a usual standard inspection with her. The other 2, so the east facing hive and also the other east facing hive behind, closer to the glass house, the greenhouse, that one is going to be for comb. Now that was the smallest colony of all of them, because what would have happened is that some bees would have flown out and returned to the other hives. So that we just wanted to make sure that they were all okay. I've been doing some peaks in the week. They seem to be doing well. The syrup is going down, so we will sort of be doing. And the reason I'm feeding is because, if you recall, I put more frames in there that need to be drawn out. So to help them just to do so, just supplement what's coming in on the nectar side. Now I'm not planning, if I do go through those 2 hives which had the queen cells, what I want to do is check and see that there are signs that at least 1 or 2 queens have emerged. I'd expect them all to have emerged by now, because it is 22 days and the life cycle being 16 days, or at least the emerging cycle in brood. So I want to just make sure that there are queen cells that have emerged. If I can find a queen, that's great. She may be a virgin, she may be partially sort of been out on some mating flights, she may not have completed all of those, but ultimately with both those hives I want to see if I can find signs of a queen. Now that does not mean I will find the queen. I want to see if there's primarily, are there signs of a queen, eggs being laid. I'd be surprised if we're getting cap brood for the new eggs at this stage, but it could just be beginning to cap depending on when they would have emerged and when the mating flights happened. But see if I can hopefully find some eggs. If I can do that, I will just do a quick inspection, make sure there's no other queen cells that are coming. I'll get rid of those if there are, because I want to sort of get these bees sort of growing for the rest of the season. So that's all key focus today. Oh, if I could say the old queen, her colony, just make sure she's okay. Standard inspection, remove any queen cups, queen cells that might be in there. On the others is just making sure that there is some sign of some queen in there. Key thing is, because there's so many queen cells that are left in both of them, I would be surprised if there was nothing. But the only way we're going to find out is to get in. So why don't we do that? So before we dive in, I just wanted to show you the bees. So this is the queen right side. We can see we're looking through here. I purposely like keeping the entrances on a bit longer. You can see the bees are coming in here. Lots of pollen, probably about a quarter of the bees are coming in with quite a bit of pollen. They can also go in on the side entrance like that on the side, but also the main entrance as well. So let's just have a come up a bit, and then we'll actually get into the hive. So first of all, take this side one off, get that off, and I'm going to take the syrup. First of all, quite a lot of syrup in there. It's gone down by about half since last week. As I said, the main reason I'm leaving syrup and stuff in here is down to the fact that I am still leaving these bees to sort of draw quite a lot of comb, so therefore I'm leaving them, giving them that opportunity to have the extra flow. Just check, no queen, no. There we are. I love this long hive idea where we just move the frames back. I'm just going to move a few of these frames. These ones are still just being drawn. They are even putting nectar into them. That's the very last frame. Put that one in last week, put this one in last week as well. And that's a bit heavier. Definitely got a lot of flow, and there's our queen. Second frame. White spot 2021 queen, and she's going around. Don't know what she hasn't got much space there to sort of lay, so that's going to be an interesting one. That hopefully means that, or hopefully it doesn't mean, should I say, that there isn't much space and they've filled with honey all the spaces in the other frames. Yeah. No, there's lots of eggs in this one, so this is partly all the way here. That's all nectar, but all of this is eggs. So he's still drawing this out. So she's obviously going to keep coming back, but she's searching. Quite obviously, she's searching for places to lay. And we'll take all of these little bits of burr off just to keep it a bit cleaner and not have obstruction below. Again, as I said, the main reason, and I will have to go through every single frame, is making sure there's no queen cups. Lots of eggs, some very small larvae in this one as well. Don't know if you'll be able to see them in here, but you may see with a black foundation a whole lot of eggs. I find this just truly amazing how bees and animals generally will do what they do and just get on with life. How many eggs she lays. I read somewhere that they say that a queen can lay up to 2,000 eggs in one day. It's just truly astonishing in my view. Oh, look at that beautiful comb. Lovely brood there. And even on the edges I can see young larvae and even some eggs. So topped with and beautiful there again. Now the bottom there, that burr is nothing in there, so I'm going to just take this off again. anybody can hear, I am quiet, the humming of the bees. I find it really relaxing. No sound of aggressiveness at all in them. This is a very light frame, so this is one I put in, I can't remember if this is one I did, I think this was last week or the week before. But you can see there, they join that, and you should hopefully see lots of grubs, larvae in there, and towards the end down here there were eggs, and on this side there's lots of eggs as well. So I'm very happy that she's doing what she's meant to do. She's a good queen, only new last year, so she's still a young queen. But I do need to go through every frame. There's a usual inspection. Okay. Key thing I always do is smell. Do I smell anything? I don't smell anything foul, so no concerns really about foul brood, whether that be American or European foul brood. So beautiful. You can see some drone cells here, and a few over here. So, and there's a drone here and a drone there. So, and another one here, some more here. There's some queen cups, so we need to destroy those. Nothing in them, so not too much of a concern. And there's no larva in the bird. There's larva in the bird down the bottom, bird comb that is. I tend to leave it because they will contribute to the health of the hive. But when it's just been built, probably for storage, for honey stores, I will tend to leave them or take it off, like I have been. Okay, so this is the colony that we split into. This is our third colony. This is the one which was going to be for comb. It's still a long hive, but it's just a single colony long hive. The reason I've come to quickly have a look at this, that's very light. So yep, they've pretty much taken all of that syrup, so I'm going to have to bring that back and put some new syrup in there. And now I'm going to quickly have a look at these. So it's still quite a few bees, but that one is really what I've heard an expression booming. Where the queen is. She is laying well. Not surprising that they haven't really got to these end frames at all that we put in last week. So I may, I think, take one frame out of the other one, give them more to work. But we are seeing probably the last of the brood from the previous split that I did. I'm just having a look. Can see any eggs? Can I see any queens? Obviously she won't be marked if there is a queen. I want to see if there's any signs of old queen cells that have broken down. I'm going to be a bit slower on these looking, because an unmarked queen by its very nature will be harder to than a marked queen. Okay, nothing So this was a frame of stores that we put in, but we also had some brood. And just having a quick look, so before I bring it over, I don't see any eggs. Definitely emerging brood. There was an old queen cup. You can see that. I'm just going to remove that because there shouldn't be any by now. No need for an old queen cup not being used. There's another one, but there's no larva in there. Remove that one there as well. Destroy that. People might think it's a bit mean doing that, but all we're trying to do, and here's another one here, again, wait ladies, we're just trying to remove the propensity or desire for them to potentially prepare and just lay any queen cells, particularly in the colony this size. It's relatively new because it's been split, hasn't yet got a queen, got no real motivation to do anything as far as swarming, so I'm not expecting anything along those lines. The broodminder sensors, by the way, have been quite interesting to watch. This one hasn't been as high as the other ones, partly because of the size, but the two that didn't have a queen, the temperature was lower than the one with the queen. And the main reason for that was probably because there wasn't any new brood being laid, as in eggs. So therefore, there was no reason to keep the temperature of the colony up quite so high. But I'm expecting, as and when we start seeing laying by a queen, that we'll see the temperature gradually start to increase by another couple of degrees. So it's not cold in the frame, in the hive. It's just not as warm as the other frames, not as in the optimal position. Just having a look on this one. Okay, I will show you this. This is probably the queen cell. I'm just checking sure there's no queen on here. But there's been an emergence of at least one queen cell. They seem to be cleaning it out. Just check that there is no sign of her on this frame. She could be out, of course, on a mating flight. I don't see any gathering of bees around anything else, but if I were to show you here, here's queen cells just down in this corner. You can see this one has not yet emerged, so I'm not going to destroy that yet, because just to be sure, you can see this one appears to have been emerged, so I'm going to destroy that one. Take that away. This one has nothing in it, and so I'm going to take that away as well. And the one that has also emerged on this side, oh, there's the cup. Destroy that one. On this side is over here, and probably this was the really big queen cell that we had here. And what I try and do is do it this way here, so you can actually see up the cell itself. But the queen has emerged. What I can see here is that we've had bees going in and actually cleaning it out. So I'm going to remove that cell as well. But I'm just there's a little cluster of bees there, just checking that they weren't over a particular queen or anything. Interesting. Oh, that way. Try and get the orientation the same way as they were before. That wasn't the only frame that had queen cells. So did this one. So let's have a look at this. Just checking again. Let's see. Just again looking for queens. I can't see yet again. This is just full of being backfilled with nectar, and we can see drone cells as well along here. I will clean the bottom of this burr comb out because they're not being used for anything as yet. No laying queen, so I don't want to encourage her to lay on that burr. I leave the drone just above it. Now all of this wax I'll be keeping. I will be melting it down and cleaning it. Okay, I've fixed that frame. As I say, do check, don't do what I do, do what I say. How's that? And in this frame is just going to be stores that I put in at the beginning. No signs of a queen, no concerns. On this side is obviously taking some of it, and also some of the stores. I don't see any queen on here either. So in that inspection, I'm not overly concerned. If there was a queen that had literally emerged in the last 2 or 3 weeks, or 2 or 3 days, she's probably not fully mated at this point. So I would not necessarily expect to be having lots and lots of eggs in here at the moment. The virgin queen can look relatively small. I could spend lots of time just going through and trying to make sure I could find her, because it does look like there's been at least 2 queen cells which have emerged. Now I am going to quickly take the frame out of this other, the one with the queen. And the reason I'm going to do that is because this has lots of brood in it. And this, the one where we are, will give the queen and her workers just something more to draw, because I'm going to give her one of the frames. These bees will accept this drone or this brood with no problem at all. I will give one of these frames, which hasn't been drawn on at all. I'm going to put that as the end frame here. I'm still going to have the same number of frames. I've got something to work on. And then I'll come back and I'll close that one up, but I won't necessarily video that. So there we are. This isn't a full hive yet, so I haven't put all the frames in that this hive can have, but it's all they need at this time. The advantages with the long hive ideas, I can just add in 1 or 2 frames, or I have to put a whole box on, and that's sort of potentially better for what they need at any one particular time. Put on the brood minder sensor, and I will keep monitoring that, and that will probably give me the idea, an idea of when she has actually started laying, and then following visits that we pop in here, we'll probably see some eggs. So which I would hope next week when we have a look, there will be eggs in here. So let's dive into this one. So again, just like the one we've just done, no queen in here as of the last inspection. There were queen cells, at least a half dozen, which is but no emergence, as I wouldn't have expected that as of last week. What we do want to do is just do a quick check, remove any fur cone, as with the other one. See if we can find any sign of a newly mated queen. Don't necessarily expect that there will be, like the other colony. I wouldn't necessarily expect that there will be a mated queen at this point, which could be out on mating flights, but I would expect the queens to have emerged, that there were and that there were some form of emergence because of a 16 days emerging cycle. Nothing on there. Again, on this second frame, a little bit of work they've started to do to emerge, and they've started capping. Again, well, before bringing it over to you, I am just checking. So this is a frame that fell apart last week, and I repaired this one with tacking. So, but nothing on there. We can just see on both sides it's just started drawing out. They even partially filled what they have drawn and are capping it. And next, let's have it. So this is an old frame. Again, this is predominantly stores, if I recall. Last time, completely been filled up with new nectar, by the looks of it. Just having a look to make sure I don't see any queen. There's a queen cell that has emerged. I will show you that just now, just checking for. And there's one other which has not yet emerged, which I will show you. So I will leave that. Oh, look. Okay. This is a queen cell, but I doubt this is probably a queen. If you can see here, just down here, there is a bee in there. Now I don't know if that is a queen emerging, or whether that is just a worker that has been in, but she does seem to be a bit hesitant about popping out. So it could potentially be a queen, and they are gathering around her. So we might even just be here seeing a queen emerging. They do seem to be giving her a bit of fuss, so it may well be a queen. Obviously she will definitely be a virgin if that is a queen. I'm going to leave her. You can see over here another one here. This one is not emerged yet. This one isn't actually, that doesn't look like it was actually used in the end. Get rid of that. Oh, there she is. It is a queen. She has just emerged. So we just saw the emergence of a queen. I am going to put this back because of her having just emerged. I do not want to risk anything happening to her. But that is amazing. What a chance and what luck actually seeing her literally come out of her cell. There were other queen cells in here, so we may well be, this is just an empty frame I put in. So next week we may well have a laying queen. This one here, old cell that wasn't used. Just check if there could be another queen already, or another queen that may emerge. Nothing on here. They just backfilled everything with nectar. So all the brood that emerged out of that one has actually been backfilled with nectar, stroke the syrup that we've been feeding. So there's nothing on this. This is just burr. We're going to get rid of all of this so we can tidy up the hive. But the colony is probably going to start smelling at new queen very quickly. I don't want to spend too much time in here because of her having emerged, and I do want to make sure that there may not be another queen. Well, to be honest, even if there was another queen, I think I'm now, because I saw her emerge, I'm actually going to close this up. I don't see any reason why I need to. See, there's enough stores through here. I've seen her emerge, so I'm not overly concerned now that there might not be a queen in here. So what I don't want is to potentially hurt her or damage her. And the bees will get protective of a new queen, not having had a queen for a little while. But I've seen, as in a previous video, emerging bees, but never have I seen an emerging queen. So that would be great. So, ideas. We need 2 names, or 2 queens need to be named. My daughter's nicknamed the other one, which is from last year, Queenie, from a book that they were reading. But we need to have these. Somebody else, because this hive, or both these hives are made by Home Hives. I think I will name one of them Heidi, and I think I'm going to call this one Heidi, because she definitely didn't hide, did she?